Hi guys, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. I'm just going to review the Rotterdam final and preview everything that's happening in Qatar. The Qatar, I'm also going to, I didn't mention it on the title, but I'm also going to get into the Marseille Open just shortly because not a lot of great players are there. But first, let's go and let's talk about what happened at the Rotterdam final. I hope you guys that's a bit better. So the Rotterdam final. It was Rublev against the guy from Hungary. I need to get his name, but I haven't been quite familiar with him. So I just hope you guys watched the match and it was interesting. Vucevic, the name just slipped my mind just for a second. A bit complicated to pronounce there. So what I was saying, Vucevic, he played quite well for his ranking, I would say. It was a really tough test. I felt like it just came down to the power of Rublev overpowered him at some big moments. Also, one improvement in Rublev's game I noticed is attacking on the second serve return. So he started a lot of points ahead because he attacked the second serve. Then from then he had time to set up and control the point with his power. Off the serve, Rublev used the first and second serve to a lesser extent to serve and just start the point ahead and then control it with his power. Vucevic was on the back foot, but he did well. He attacked and counterpunched. He played good defense with the speed, but the critical points was the first set tiebreaker. He made a couple of errors, and the power again and the consistency of Rublev was there for what happened there, and he got the tiebreaker. Rublev, I think, just a bit better under pressure, bit of power, bit of nerves from Fucsovics, couple of errors there. Then the momentum continued early in the second set when he hit a couple of really good returns. I mean, the first one he hit a winner off the return of the second serve return. Then he hit a couple of like low ones where he sort of got an arrow, pushed him out wide, um, and got the point there. And then yeah, it was just a great effort on the return of serve, I would say, on that particular game. Trying to remember, I remember he hit a return winner to start it off, and he hit a low ball, and then he hit a low ball and sort of pushed him out wide. Um, I think the point where he got the break. Oh yeah, that's what happened. He moved him around a bit and took control of the point, as he did a lot, and finished at the net. And then that got the break to start the second set. So now Rublev's position was he just needs to hold serve. Both played well from that point. Both of them held serve pretty well and easily. And then it just came down to Rublev kept the break and took it out. And I think he's won 20 in a row, and I think he's got 4 500s in a row. So I believe Rublev's playing well, with the exception of playing Medvedev. He may have some mental issue. I think he's got it to really challenge Medvedev now, but mentally, I guess because Medvedev did well earlier, so there's probably a bit of a history there. Um, I spoke about his final against Tsitsipas in my previous video. I just felt Tsitsipas was too inconsistent. Just surviving against Hurkacz, who was inconsistent, and Khachanov. But when it came down to it, um, I just feel like he wasn't going to get away with that against Rublev, so Rublev won. And this match, a guy ranked outside the top 50. I just felt like Fucsovics just wasn't going to, even on his best day, only a few players in the world, I think the way Rublev's playing would beat him. And Fucsovics isn't one of them. But his very best, I felt, could make it two tight, close sets or a third set. That tiebreaker decided if it was 2 or 3, it was 2. But he gave him a tight match and a hard battle and played the level which took him to the final, which beat everybody else. And it's proven that even against the very best, Rublev, it was good enough to make it about a few key points where Rublev was just that bit better. So you can see why he was in the final, why he beat Korik in the final, deserved to be there, but he needs 1 or 2 more steps to get over Rublev. But at this level of all the guys that he beat them, and it's good enough to really push Rublev to the limit, not to win. That's what I said would happen before the match. That's what eventuated. And Rublev is your 2021 Rotterdam for Masters, not Masters, Rotterdam 500 Series champion. So I'm just going to preview Roger Federer's comeback and the Qatar Open. I'm going to actually very shortly after this video, I'm going to be interviewing Federer. So if you want to come back for my next video, it'll be a live stream, but it's also going to be posted. You can watch it not live, but I'm just about to interview Roger Federer. I'm going to go live from Qatar. That won't be on this video, it'll be a second video. So I hope you can join me for that moment. I've really been a long time to get Roger to tie him down. In the next hour, the interview is happening on this channel. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to had to check the time. I can't miss my interview time with Roger Federer, but I've got to finish this one first. I've got to talk about the tournament first. Now I've reviewed Rotterdam. We're on to, I'll talk firstly the one in Doha, Qatar Open. You've got 3 seeds that stand out. Dominic Thiem, you got Rublev, you got Batista Agut. No, but I mean the top 3 really. Rublev, who just won Rotterdam, is there. Dominic Thiem, he's the number 4. He was just number 3. He's won the US Open. And then we've got Federer in his comeback. But what I notice is, coincidentally for Federer, on the other side of the draw, Stan Wawrinka is there. But all these guys, Stan Wawrinka on the other side of the draw, even Batista Agut, the big one, Rublev, because of those big 3, Thiem, Federer, and Rublev, is the big question when we get to the semi-final stage is which side's Rublev on, because both would want Thiem and Federer would want Rublev on the other side and have Shapovalov in their semi-final. But Federer, they've just set this up amazingly, an amazing draw. He gets Evans or Shardy, then probably Millman or Bashashvili in the next round, the quarterfinals. And then in the semifinals, like I said, sorry about that. The quarterfinals. I'm just trying to go through the draw here. But what I was saying, the first round, it's Evans or Shardy. So that's a pretty good start for a tournament. It's not a grand slam. Then the next round, the quarterfinals, he's actually not even going to have to play a seed at all. Probably John Millman. And then if you're moving all the way through to the semifinals, you're then playing Rublev, and then all these other tough. I mean, it could be Shapovalov or it could be Goffin, right? So that's the hardest he would have to beat, and that he would get a few matches and build confidence. So he's got 2 guys who are not even seeded to get to the semifinals. Then in the semifinals, it's either going to be Goffin, who mentally is beaten against Federer. We've seen that in the past, or Shapovalov, the 4th seed in the semifinals. So I think he's got a pretty good run through to the final. And when you look at Thiem on his side, the opposite side, you got Batista Agut, you got Rublev, you got Stan Wawrinka all on the other side. So I really think when I see on Federer's side, he's going to get the first few matches to get into the semi-finals. He's going to get Shapovalov or Goffin in the semi-finals. I think he's going to get that. So I'm going to predict that Federer will be in the final in his first tournament. But the tough thing is going to come all those other names that he's shielded from. I believe they did this on purpose because they want Federer to have a good start. I don't believe it's a random draw. Could be, but I just don't believe it. So then when you look at the other side of the draw, um, I've got Federer in the final. So Dominic Thiem has got a hard battle because he's going to have to get through. His first round is against Aslan Karatsev. He was in the semi-finals of the Australian Open. Then he's got Batista Agut in his second match. Then the semi-finals, he's probably got Rublev. Much tougher on that side. I think the main thing, I think what we're going to see is Stan Wawrinka is also in the mix too, but he's going to have to take out Rublev. But I think we're going to see a Dominic Thiem Rublev semi-final on the other side, and I think the winner of that match will actually beat Federer in the final. So that's going to determine the winner of the tournament, that semi-final match. Now, Rublev has just won a tournament. He's in momentum. Thiem hasn't done anything since last year and didn't look good at the Australian Open. But I'm going to have to say he was a bit tired. He was a bit injured. Now he's going to be fresh. He's going to be ready to go. It's a really 50-50 match, this one. Really could go either way. And Rublev's playing great. But Thiem is one of those guys who has a big forehand, can match him with power, can match him with the serve. And I just think, like, after playing a week in Rotterdam, traveling, playing again, getting through all these matches and getting to the semi-final, he's going to be a bit worn down, whereas Thiem will play the Australian Open, but any rust he had, getting through the first few rounds into the semi-finals, will get off that rust. And I just say now his first two games, he's a bit rusty. By the semi-final, he's ready to go. But for Rublev, it's the opposite. He's got a hard draw. He may have to beat Stan Wawrinka prior to that. He's had all these matches in Rotterdam, travel all these matches, possibly Stan Wawrinka, and I think he's going to be quite exhausted. And in a 50-50 battle like Rublev against Thiem, with Thiem getting off the rustiness of not playing for a few matches and then finding his good level, whereas Rublev playing all these matches in Rotterdam, traveling, having a hard draw, possibly beating Stan Wawrinka, second week in a row, the travel, the bubble situation, I think he's a bit physically and mentally broken down. Now, if Thiem is not near his best, Rublev will win. But if I just think that he's going to be a bit more fresher, it's a 50-50 game. I say it's really 51-49 in favour of Thiem. So I'm going to give it to Thiem to advance in the final, and you'll see your top two seeds, Roger Federer, Dominic Thiem. And I think, as good as Federer is, his first tournament back, trying to beat Dominic Thiem. He's fresh. He didn't play before. Now he's got a few wins, even a win over Rublev. And he's going to feel great. He beat on an outdoor hard court Federer in Indian Wells a couple of years ago. That wasn't Federer in his first tournament in 14 months. It was a better Federer than you'll get now. It'll be straight sets to Thiem in the final, but two close sets. I think the semi-final between Thiem and Rublev will be 3 sets and will come down to right the end of the third set. Thiem survives, but then beats Federer in straight sets in the final, and we'll have Dominic Thiem of your Qatar Open champion. So that's what I think about that one. So now let's move on to the Marseille draw. It's really only got two players, like Medvedev and Tsitsipas. And there's not many other good players. Only possibly Sinner and Khachanov. Medvedev will get a bye. He'll play probably Yannick Hoffman. Then he'll probably play Sinner. Then he'll probably play Khachanov, and then he'll end up against Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas will play Lucas Poli. Then he could end up playing Cameron Norrie, Nishikori, sort of further down, and then he could. I think Songa is there. I mean, there's not a lot of great names there. Songa, Feliciano Lopez, this other Greek guy. I mean, I just really don't see, unless Khachanov has a great game against Medvedev or Sinner, I don't see anyone stopping the Daniel Medvedev Tsitsipas final here in they're calling it the Open 13 province in Marseille, France. But I just see this as being a Medvedev versus Tsitsipas final. But like I said, Medvedev, he's mentally affected that he won 20 in a row. And then out of nowhere, the pressure of a Grand Slam final beating Djokovic threw him off. So now he's thinking about, I just blew my opportunity and I'm upset about it and down and emotionally down and affected by that. And reminding himself, having nightmares about it, like, why did I just win 20 in a row and I had even Djokovic injured? If I played how I was playing, he's injured, it's mine. And just feeling like he blew a Grand Slam. I think he's affected by that. And I just think that that's what caused it Rotterdam. Now, is he over it? You could have a winning streak and a losing streak. He's lost 5 sets in a row with the Australian Open final and the first round against Lajovic, also straight sets. So 5 sets in a row, not just 2 losses. So mentally, he's in a bad place, a dark place. So can he get out of that now after those 2 matches and go back to the Medvedev who won 20 in a row? If so, he'll win it. He'll be Tsitsipas. It's a 2-horse race, Medvedev Tsitsipas. We see them play. Medvedev wins almost all the time. If Medvedev's in the final, he's playing decently enough. And Tsitsipas is just a bad matchup. I'll always go for Medvedev. I mean, Tsitsipas wants to say, I'll attack, I'll shorten the point, take risks, come to the net, not rally with Medvedev. But the problem is, before the rally, Medvedev, as well as being a better rallier and not having to take risks and shorten the points and play it safe, Medvedev already starts the point with a better serve. So the one who wants to use the serve, attack, and shorten the point, he serves not as good as his opponent, the rallier. So Medvedev can get all these serves in. When he doesn't, he can just win in the rallies anyway. Whereas Tsitsipas needs to keep bombing in these big serves. And if he doesn't and gets second serves and Medvedev gets in a rally, he's under pressure of being broken when he comes to the net. Medvedev will pass him. So if they're both playing like their normal, decent type of level, Medvedev will win it. Tsitsipas will be the runner-up. But if Medvedev is mentally still affected by the Australian Open, which you could see in Rotterdam, if it carries over here to Marseille, he'll go out in the first or second match, and Tsitsipas will be the only high-ranked guy here. He'll take advantage of Medvedev being affected, and he'll be the champion. There'll be no, like, he couldn't do it in Rotterdam because Rublev was there, but there's no Rublev and there's no one good enough. He'll probably play Khachanov in the final, and they did play in Rotterdam, so it wins it. So we've got 2 options: a Medvedev Tsitsipas final with Medvedev winning, or a Tsitsipas Khachanov final with Tsitsipas winning. But I'm just going to go with Medvedev being Tsitsipas in the final for now, and just believe he's going to get out of this mental funk from the Australian Open final. But if not, it's Tsitsipas Khachanov. But I'm going for Medvedev over Tsitsipas in the final for now. But there's a good chance it won't happen based on him being affected about what happened in the Australian Open. So I've got Thiem in Qatar and I've got Medvedev at Marseille. So that's it for my preview of mostly Qatar, but a bit of Marseille, my review of the what happened in Rotterdam, and Rublev as the winner. In the next hour to half an hour, I'm going to have a live interview of Roger Federer from Qatar. Where I'm using some kind of technology, some like a video conferencing sort of software, and I've got an appointment time. It's all ready. So be back here very soon for a live interview of Roger Federer. You should subscribe to get that bell notification, thumbs up. Have a great day, night, wherever you are in the world. Remember, subscribe, bell notification, thumbs up, and be back here for my live interview of Roger Federer. And then my next interview, I'm going to look at in a couple of days. I would say probably Thursday. Yeah, I'm going to sort of go over where the GOAT debate is. Now, Djokovic has his 18 slams, so that'll be Thursday. But before that, we've got Roger Federer for a live interview. Okay, subscribe, thumbs up, bell notification. Sorry about asking again. It's important, but bye for now. Have a great day. Bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.